Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first edition of Behind the Fate. Before I get started, I just want to let you guys know, yes, this is being recorded same way I usually do my Losers Lounge podcast recordings, but it's okay. This is it's not scripted but I do have like a lot of things I got set up here on what I need to be talking about because this is an 11-part series entitled Behind the Fate. It's going to be scheduled for release every single Tuesday on this channel, where you'll get to hear all the secrets and details of what I've called the Struggles of Life saga, which went from April of 2016 to March of 2020. So about 4 years of me telling a story. Most of the time, y'all didn't even know it was part of a story. But now that everything's completed and everything come together full circle, everything is looking great. Now, of course, you know the perfect way to start is from the beginning. So, don't worry, guys. These videos are obviously, as you can tell, not as long as my podcast. Plus, you can actually see some photos and maybe some video of footage from these things that I've shot over the years. We're gonna start obviously from the very start for what led to the creation of the Huntrabane character, to the Virginia vacation, to meeting up with Josh, to bringing him into the series, to doing the Exiled. The bringing back Huntrabane and what gave me the idea of that, and I'll be discussing more about the situation regarding the 500 Sins videos possibly being the end, which of course obviously it's not by this point, and also what led up to me filming the movie Fate of the Sins. For some editions, it's just going to be me alone talking, but for future episodes, I'm going to get Josh in here. At the time of releasing, these were pre-recorded before he went off to college. Congratulations to Josh. But without further ado, let's get started on this first episode. This is actually a 2016 debut, and I'm going to be talking about what led up to the creation of the Huntrabane character, the static interferences in my Sins videos, and some situations that happened at the end of the year, but I'll get to that in a moment. So let's start things off. Basically, on the playlist, The Struggles of Life Saga, it begins with a video called My Aunt Has Passed Away / YouTuber Stole My Videos Again. The whole thing about YouTubers stealing my videos, that was kind of stupid for me to post about that. But oh well. Well, what I want to say is the main problem I had was, my aunt, Maracle, passed away in April of 2016. And that was right at the time where I just hit my breakthrough on YouTube, and things were looking great for me because I was starting to build my fan base to what it is now. And things got really tough for me because my aunt was one of the biggest influences in my life. I've known her pretty much all my life. I was inspired by her and her ways of life and the way she took to things, and of course her career. My aunt was an artist who, she created art. She quoted it as, "I would like to create art to speak to the world." Hers is based on sexuality, whether it's, genders or... it's kind of hard to explain, but there's a lot of things about Ayana Maracle and her art, which I might consider sharing with you in the future. She's getting inducted in this year's Optimistic Hall of Fame, so you might be seeing a little bit of that. But I just want to get to, she had cancer for quite a while, but it was in November 2015 when I found out about it, and I was devastated. And what went down, of course, was in April, late April 2016. Pain was becoming too much. She was gone, and then one day she passed away. And to this very day, I'll be honest right now, recording this and talking about it is still extremely uncomfortable for me to talk about, because to this very day, it's been over 4.5 years, but I'm still highly affected by her passing. But I'm just going to say this right now, that I'm thankful to everybody who sent me condolence videos, and that's what leads to the next part. The condolence videos, I've seen over 50 condolence videos from my fans who were sorry that my aunt passed away, were praying for me, and one of those, actually, I met a couple of those guys who sent those condolences ended up becoming my friends. One of them being Adam, formerly Adam's Wrestling Show, now Being Adam. He's a 5-time Optimistic Award winner and Optimistic Hall of Famer, and he played a big part in the Sinfinity War when he stole my gauntlet. That was hilarious. The other, of course, was the guy who would later become my brother, Long Neck Josh. or just Josh Nobles. Everyone just know him Josh. um, so as you can tell by the playlist, his condolence video is actually added into that playlist because it set something up. And at the same time, even despite the fact that I had got to know Josh, I was still struggling with my inner demons, fighting off against, because an idea I came up with because everybody has like anger issues, or sometimes the greatest thing that people fear is themselves, like an evil twin, that sort of thing. And so I decided that I would create something to hopefully spread some positive messages about how to deal with these inner demons. And of course, that's what led to the creation of the character known as Huntrabane. And I didn't know how to create this character at first because, I wanted to do more than just have the idea. I wanted to actually have a physical representation. I already knew that I was going to be playing the character even before I even knew what Huntrabane was going to look like. And as you can probably tell in earlier years, initially Huntrabane did not look as you see him. I decided it started off with some static interferences on my Sins videos because I knew my fans, they're just enjoying a Sins video. It's like another day, another Sins video, having a good time, and then all of a sudden the thing just there's static interference, and nobody knows what the hell just happened, but the video just continues like it never happened at all. But then it started happening again, and then again, and people started seeing a connection, and I decided to create a video. Actually, even before that, I created the video talking about what happened to the statics of the Sins videos. I did this small, short-lived series that never really kicked off. It was called Maracle Reviews, where I was thinking about doing weekly reviews on Raw and SmackDown. That only happened for 2 weeks, and then I just stopped doing it altogether. But in the end of the first one, where after I reviewed Raw and SmackDown, there was a moment at the end where it seemed like there was something in my house, and then that was crazy. But then there's the next video where I'm talking about WWE Sins updates, and I have a new schedule for WWE Sins, and what happened is the power went out. It didn't actually go out. That was all set up, obviously. I just turned on my camera flashlight, continued the video. The door opened by itself, as if a ghost was doing it, and then you literally just see the figure of Huntrabane. What I did for that was I literally just walked, wore that same cape that Huntrabane wears. I made sure my face was not shown because I didn't have at the time the mask or the face paint that I had, which I'll get to that in a moment. That was god awful. But people were like, "Holy shit!" There were some people that actually thought this was real, and that was funny. But it's okay though. Things happen. And then I decided to address it, saying okay, fine. I made this deal with something inside me that I would set it free. And at the time, people were like, wait, what's he talking about? Is he going crazy? I think Christian Miracle's going crazy. Not a lot of people got the idea that this was a set-up series because it just kept happening one after the other. A lot of people were thinking that it was possibly real and that I was actually losing my shit. Losing my mind. But the entire time I knew what I was doing. That's why I admit in 2016 I was a little disappointed at the fact that not a lot of people were getting it, and it seemed like not a lot of people were interested. At the time I was just thinking too much about how many views I could get, how many more fans I could get, because that's what a lot of YouTubers were going through. It took me a long time before I realized the real gift that I'm doing is the fan base. It doesn't matter how many watch it. I should do something because I enjoy doing it. So that's what I kept on doing. Then I did my first ever Optimistic Award show where I unveiled that Huntrabane would be revealed the following day. By that point, I just came up with the idea. I'm like, I got this idea of having this thing have white and black face paint, and I'm not good at drawing or being an artist, so clearly the design was fucking awful. As a matter of fact, it was just me wearing the same cloak that Huntrabane eventually wears, and putting on face paint, and just trying to act evil. And I looked back on it, and I said, holy shit, that absolutely sucked ass. And when I did that, people disliked all the videos of Huntrabane. A lot of people unsubscribed. They didn't like what was going on, and even I admit this should have gone a lot better than I thought it would. A lot of people make comparisons to Sting, which I can see that. So, and then I also realized if I was going to be playing this character, that would mean I would have to be doing the face paint all the time, and that'd be extremely stressful to do every single time I'm playing the character. Because I knew that the way I wanted things to go, things were going to, like, this character was going to just come back again and again and again. So I'm like, I got to do something that's a lot easier. What I will say, though, is briefly, I had a mental breakdown because people were unsubscribing or disliking, and I felt like, I'll be honest, I felt like I was being disrespected for doing something creative and adding variety to my channel, because that's the one thing, in my opinion, that makes a good YouTube channel. It's not just the same thing over and over and over again, because if I did that, that would just be boring. Doing the same thing over and over again is frustrating and boring for me. And a lot of bad things happened to me over the years because I gave in to the people who just wanted me to do Sins videos and nothing else. I erased so many things that I had planned, I wanted to do, and just never got to it because the people were like, we're not interested, we just want the Sins videos. And it was extremely tough for me, I'll be honest. It was very tough for me to deal with this sort of thing. So yeah, what gave me the idea to stop doing it was people were just constantly disliking and unsubscribing, giving me shit for it, even though I didn't deserve any of that. I'll be perfectly honest, I didn't do anything wrong. I just don't understand like how people like see change and they just get pissed off. They see something new and they get pissed off. They see change, they get pissed off, and yet the fan base, they want to see change in the WWE, and every time the WWE does change, they get pissed off, saying that's not what we wanted. Clearly obvious, nobody knows anymore, nor gives a shit. So that's why I just stopped giving a shit. I threw away everything, went back to doing just the Sins videos, and well, that's where we'll wow, I fucked up. That's where we'll pick up in the next episode of Behind the Fate, where I will discuss the summer of 2017, which will be the reinvention of the Huntrabane character, my channel's termination, and a minor possession scene, which set up the confrontation between myself and Huntrabane. But for now, folks, I want to say thank y'all for tuning in to the first edition of Behind the Fate. I know for a fact these videos are not going to get that many views compared to the Sins videos or the gaming series, and that's perfectly fine with me. But if y'all are interested, for those who are very interested in like the behind the scenes of everything I've done on a 4-year-long story, I just want to say thank you for tuning in for this. All right, I'll see you guys next week, Behind the Fate, summer of 2017. And always remember to think optimistically.